Hello and welcome to your first quarter 4 video. These are a little bit different because they're not really in chronological order. Um, I guess the GitHub one was your first quarter 4 video, but whatever. Anyway, this one's all about how to use Google Analytics, which is the industry standard way to track page views and all sorts of user interaction events on your website. I use it for my own products, and most people do because it's reliable. It's very, very robust, and it's really easy to use. So we're going to show you how to do that. Everybody should have a Google Analytics kind of dashboard. If you go to analytics.google.com, like this, analytics.google, oopsie, not Google, analyticsgoogle.com, you'll be brought to a screen that kind of looks like this, and if not, you'll have to sign in, but you should sign in. So you'll sign in and then click on admin because that's where we need to start, ironically enough. We need to start on the admin section. Three kind of, I would say, fields. There's the account field, which is like, probably it's most akin to the user who owns all of the properties, which is all your products, and then views, which are like all of the pages in your products. That's the best way to think about it. So I'm actually going to make a new account for this video. This is actually my own for Planner, for the Planner app. This will show data on that, but we'll get there in a sec. So I'm going to make a new account, create new account. Okay, and it says, what would you like to track, website or mobile app? Well, you guys are all doing websites, so we're going to track websites. My account name, you can type in whatever you want here. I might just type in the name of your product that you're doing. Demo. Website name, same thing. You can say Watson Demo Website. These are all just, for your own purposes. This is important though, website URL. You do need to tell the person what the root URL of your website is, and depending on where it's coming from, this might be different. However, since you're all probably using the GitHub pages to host your site, this can still be http dot, I think it's pages dot GitHub, no, github.com, I guess just github.com. That can't be it. I forgot what the base URL is. It's not this, obviously. Is it gh-pages? Gh-pages. Crap. One sec. GitHub.io. There you go. And you only actually need the root for this. So that'll be pretty easy. So I'm going to say my username, mrmchem.github.io. Okay, now I think, yeah, that's fine. All right, industry category, you can select one. Mine will be, let's see, jobs and education. How about that? Time zone, well, I'm going to be Eastern time. Unless, of course, I'm feeling tropical and we're on spring break. Ooh, Alaska, if I want to freeze. We got mountain time. Eastern time's fine, okay. Data sharing settings. This is all about, whether Google can use your data for various things. Just leave it all checked. In all honesty, they're not going to do anything. And hit Get Tracking ID. All right, that was the easy part. Hit Accept. If you really want to read the whole thing, it just says you agree to sell your soul to them in the event of the apocalypse. Cool. We got a tracking ID, we got status, no data received in the past 48 hours, that's totally fine. This is very important though, we're going to come back to this. We're actually just going to leave this site up here. We're not going to do anything. Now, it's nice that they give you the code because this is the next step, which is incorporating it into your site. So go ahead and open up the index file of whatever page view you want to track. Some of you are going to have multiple pages on your site. You do it all the same way. And this is only a tutorial on how to do page views. You can actually track more sophisticated events like button clicks and things like that. I'll show you that in a later video. This is just the simple part. Alright, so what you need to do to track a page view is essentially copy and paste this code right here. and you want to put it before the end head tag. Alright, so what this does is all this stuff basically links the analytics.js file to your page, and then this says Google Analytics create basically an instance for this tracking ID. Now you'll notice that this tracking ID matches this tracking ID, whereas if you go to the documentation, you'll notice that it's in this format, UA-XXXXX-Y. You need to make sure that the tracking IDs match. It's different for each property on Google Analytics. If they don't match, you'll wind up sending page views for one product to another product's page. So that's bad. And the auto is actually the domain that the page is under, but this just says the root domain that your index file is, so leave it like that. And then finally, GA send page view basically sends a page view event to this ID. And that's actually all you need to do. Once you do that, you're all set. Okay? Now, the data tracks on a delay, so you won't actually see any data for around 24, and sometimes it can take 48 hours as indicated. But if it doesn't start appearing after maybe 2 days, you really need to be worried that something went wrong. Chances are you went wrong setting up your site here. Or another place that people tend to go wrong is they tend to go wrong right there, listing their default URL. Okay, so those are both common things. Double check to make sure those are all working. Okay. Now, once you have data coming in, how do you view it? I'm going to go to my reporting thing over here. Home. I'm actually going to click. You'll see your thing here, but if I click this, it'll be empty. So I'm going to show you real data. So here's what Planner looked like for spring break and before. We have users, we have page views, we have all sorts of things, but how do we see this? Because there's a lot of information here. So currently selected as the audience tab, but you know, the audience isn't always so interesting. I'm actually mostly interested in like views, or I actually have Google Analytics tracking various behaviors, and to be honest, I haven't updated this in decades. Not decades, but it might as well have been decades. So I'm trying to see if we can get, it might not even be working. Events, there we go. Oh, but there's only one. It might just be so out of date that it's not working. So anyway, this will be fine. So you can see the number of users that are accessing your pages. This would be a lot more accurate if I had this current, but I don't, because it's not current on this account. It's current on my other one. But this is a graph of how many users over time, and it looks like they added this real-time feature. Oh, that's pretty cool. So they did add a real-time. Let's see if it'll work. Let's see if it'll work for this thing. I guess I could update it to GitHub. It's Watson. Okay. Sure. Let's see if it works. I don't know. I'm going to pause it and upload it to GitHub real quick. One sec. GitHub. Let's see if all goes according to plan. I just want to inspect it and make sure that the changes are live, because that might be a reason it wouldn't work. This is exciting. I have honestly, all right. I've honestly no clue if the real-time thing will work. Real-time. Real-time? Real-time. Hey, that's pretty cool. Look at that. All right. So it looks like you can test it out in real time. You don't have to wait 48 hours like I mentioned before. That must be relatively new. That's pretty fascinating. But there you go. That's how you connect Google Analytics to your site. It'll let you see exactly how many people are using it right now, apparently, and also during each day. So in the next video, I'll show you how to track a little bit more advanced behavior, and that'll be it. All right, so that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye-bye.